Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 18th day of March, 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. Hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with first responders who are out here every day doing their best to save people's lives, and those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean. Blessings upon those also that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover. The teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on all the perverts that create the demand that cause these things to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and veterans homeless in the United States. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. The New York Knicks defeated the Miami Heat 116-95 at Madison Square Garden, and it wasn't even that close. When you get to the third quarter, and the third quarter was over, and Miami only had 64 points, it was pretty much over at that point. Big story. I know everybody's gonna focus on Gato. He was great. Cat was doing Cat was catting. He was doing his thing. That 15-0 run that he did, that was money right there. So yeah, he was big. But the big story was MitchRob. MitchRob coming back to the lineup, the defense, and that was the difference in the game. I wasn't worried when the Knicks were down early from Miami. If you recall, it was just March the 1st. The Knicks came from 19 down to beat Miami in Miami. So I wasn't worried about the 13-point lead in the first quarter. The Knicks were a little sluggish, and that was a little concerning to start the game. Doris Burke mentioned it. Even though they come back to Madison Square Garden, they just come off a 5-game road trip. They really didn't get much rest coming back home. So you kind of expect a little sluggishness. And really, it kind of stuck with them. Like, for example, OG, his shots were all short. And you could see that was the reason. He was fatigued. It was affecting his shot. It's common in the league, so you go through that. But then you had Josh Hart with the triple-double, bringing what we thought he was going to bring, what he normally brings, what we're spoiled into seeing all the time, the energy of Charlie Hustle. He brought that, and of course, that was his game. Deuce was going to bring what Deuce does. The defense was, and then again, I think we've been saying this for a while now. When MitchRob gets back, and you got Deuce with MitchRob, the defense gonna go, and then you got the wing stop. Last night, this was the ball game. 21 turnovers they did to Miami. Miami was turning the ball for 21 times. Miami shot 26% from 3. That's the MitchRob effect. Deuce can push up Payne, could push up Shamet, could push up on the perimeter because MitchRob's behind him. And by the way, that MitchRob Cat combo, they're going to use that in the playoffs. And if you notice, last night was a Knicks night. Q-Dog dropped 46. Now, he dropped 44 about 10 days ago, and he's been on kind of a streak since then. And last night in Houston, some of y'all was talking, Klay Thompson 2.0. I wasn't quite saying that because I think Q-Dog is his own thing. But the boy was going to be nice. I don't think anybody was doubting what I was. I've been saying it since he come out of Houston. The boy is going to be nice. No, it didn't work out in the Knicks. And no, we can't use him right now. And no, probably won't get him back because there's no space for him. Quit naming people we should get. I get people every day thinking they scouting for the Knicks. We stacked. We stacked. We stacked. Stop trying to look for new players. We good. Okay? One guy was talking about continuity, and I said, please shout that in the back for the knuckleheads of NBA 2K. We need to keep the continuity. We stacked right now. By the way, did you notice something about Tyler Kolek yesterday? Now, he ain't been on the court for a while, nor should he. But the boy's arms and shoulders filled out a little bit. Like, did you notice that? Like, he looked like while he been on riding the pond, he been working them weights, which is what he need to be doing. I was glad to see that. I don't know if he had any impact. He played like 2 minutes or whatever. Like I said, those of you, and there's even some beat writers talking about, well, Tyler Kolek ain't played. No, he ain't gonna play. I told y'all. He need to sit. His ass need to sit like all rookies supposed to sit. No, he ain't gonna play. We trying to get this chip right now. So anyway, but for the future, I like that he showed some buff. He came out yesterday. I said, whoa, boy, put on a little bit on the shoulders and arms. He been there working in that weight room. That's good. It's going to be an interesting summer league. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be an interesting summer league. Like I said, Kolek just needs to be NBA level defense in turn. He needs to be Jalen Brunson. He don't need to be Deuce McBride. He needs to be Jalen Brunson. If we can get him to that level where he can stay in front of a guy and know what's going on defensively without getting lost, he'll be all right. He work out, but I was glad. Part of it is not getting pushed around, which is why I was glad to see the boy put some muscle on, and while he's sitting on the pond. That was good. That was very good. So I give him props, man. I give him those props. Not only that, Q Dog did 46, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Obi Toppin dropped the game winner in Indiana against who was that they balled out and beat last night? Indiana. They went to overtime, and Indiana beat Minnesota. Now I was kind of hoping Minnesota would win that game because the Golden State Warriors lost to Denver without Jokic and without Jamal Murray. They lost to Denver to Aaron Gordon going off, but I wanted Minnesota to win it because if Minnesota would have won with the loss of Golden State, Minnesota would be the 6th seed. Now they still tied. But Obi hit the game winner, dropped 30. Good to see. Obi dropped 30, hit the game. He started because Big Mouth Halliburton wasn't there, so they started Nimhard and they put Toppin in the starting lineup. Good move, coach. Good move, Coach Collar. Good move. Toppin did business, and they won. They won in overtime, 132-130. As I said, Obi dropping the game winner from the corner, deep in the corner, with somebody all over him. Okay? Remember when people was talking about he can't shoot? Anyway, it was good to see. So Q-Dog dropped 46. Obi dropped 30. It was a good night. And then our Knicks. Now, Mitchell Robinson last night. Like I said, they held Miami to 26% from three. Remember when everybody was shooting over 50% against the Knicks from three? And I told y'all when MitchRob gets back, that's going to change. And I told y'all don't start tripping because he had a game where he looked gassed. Because some of y'all just like to trip, like at the drop of a hat. But anyway, last night, he was a step closer to being the MitchRob that we know. 24 minutes last night, 5 of 7 from the field, 9 boards, 5 on the offensive end. 2 blocks, 2 steals. What I notice about his game now, though, is he's now being more disruptive without fouling. So he's doubling dudes, not just doubling them for show. He's stealing the ball or causing steals. Him and Deuce McBride are, like we told y'all, hellified on defense between the two of them. I mean, Deuce had 2 steals. MitchRob had 2 steals. And a lot of times they were collaborating on that. So, man, I'm trying to say, y'all ain't seen it yet. Y'all ain't seen it yet. When he starts to be, and it was a little bit more than we've known he got from the normal MitchRob. But I think going, in the future, probably, definitely in the playoffs and into next season, the 24 minutes we saw from him last night is going to be pretty typical. That's going to be typical. Even if he starts, it's going to be typical. The 24 minutes. That's about what he should be playing. And you're going to get what you got from him last night. 9 boards, 10 points, couple steals, couple blocks. But it's his presence that allows the perimeter guys to get tougher on the opponent. That's what we're talking about. Holding opponents to 26% three-point shooting. Yes, under 100 points for the second game in a row. That's what you can expect, okay? That is what wins championships. No defense, no bueno. And some of y'all still don't get it. You still talking about what people could do to improve their offense and how the Knicks can improve scoring. And no defense, no bueno. I think it was Andrew Abraham said, I hope they get 5 stops in a row. Well, that was the 15-0 Cat run. That was 5 stops in a row. I always say you need a series of 3 stops in a row. 3 stops in a row. You keep getting 3 stops in a row, then they score. That's how you build to a win. But when you get 5 in a row, that's a blowout. And that's probably what happened last night. It was a blowout. The Knicks ended up winning the game by 21. And again, it wasn't even that close. They only had 64 points at the end of 3 quarters. And it wasn't, that you had Kolek, Daddier, and them in the game with Anton Watson for 3 minutes. That was, they was, is what they do. You know what I mean? So, but with that defense with Mitchell Robinson, and now you putting Cat with MitchRob. Now, OKC got Chet Holmgren back, and they starting Hartenstein with Chet Holmgren. See, so I think you're gonna see more of MitchRob, Cat, going into April, going into May, and we're, now you're expecting Brunson to come back probably April 1st, and you're gonna get him balling. You're gonna get MitchRob at being MitchRob. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns' thumb was affecting him last night. As he I don't think it was. He dropped 3 3-pointers. Yeah, I think we'd be all right. So it's looking good. This is what you want. Again, please remember this, some of y'all. Some of y'all will. Some of y'all won't. Next October, November, December, when people start tripping about firing Thibs and being stupid, remember now, they play their best ball, Thibs' team's second half of the season. And when you want to play your best ball is when you're getting ready to go into May in the playoffs. That's what we looking like right now. That's what we looking like. See? So it looking good. Precious had energy. He was showing some energy last night. Plus 10. He had 3 boards, 4 points, but it was the defensive energy. Again, the defensive energy is key here. And I want him to continue doing that. Just keep showing that energy and getting it involved there. I think we'll be all right with him. In fact, I know it. Payne and Shamet is defense. But Shamet did hit 3 threes last night. See, we starting to play our best ball. We ain't there yet. But when we get to April, going into May, it's on then, okay? Like I said, there's some good teams out there. Boston, Cleveland, OKC, really good teams. I ain't worried about none of them. Not when it comes to May. Not in the 7-game series. Yeah, on that given night, they've been kicking our behinds, and they are better than the Knicks. I have to give Cleveland is better than New York right now. But when it's time for the playoffs and you got to play 7 games, I'm in. Boston is better than New York right now. Been playing together for a minute. But when it comes to the playoffs and we got to go 7 games, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, see what we got. That's all I'm saying. I'm not scared of nobody, okay? And so, especially with this squad, when you talking about Mitchell Robinson coming back on the Tom Thibodeau defense, so, yeah, that's what we did last night. They did work. Miami came out like gangbusters. I kind of expected, I told y'all that yesterday. They had lost 7 straight, 5 at home. That's not Miami. And this is a time of year when they're usually playing their best ball. But see, this is why y'all got to be careful with your NBA 2K stuff. Jimmy Butler ruined their season. With his attitude, with his trying to force his way out, that's what happened to them. He ruined their season, okay? One bad apple in your locker room messes up your whole crew. That's what happened. I blame him for that, okay? So, yeah, he out with Golden State. It's like he left his wife for another woman, and they're having fun for now. So it's going to catch up to him. But he messed the team up. He messed Miami up. It was kind of Miami's fault. I don't know what they thought they was getting, when they took him from Philly, because he forced his way out of Philly, like I said, forced his way out of Chicago, Minnesota, Philly. He had a track record, okay? He had a track record of doing that. Pat Riley kind of thought, I'm going to change him. Yeah, okay. There you go. He ruined Miami's season, to me. This is the time of year when Spoelstra coach team starts playing better, okay, right now. And they trying, but he ruined their season, man. But they got, they got the structure, they got the bones of a team that's going to come back next year. You know, I like Davion Mitchell. Khalil Ware is going to be the real deal. He's in the perfect team for him. A defensive disciplinarian coach in a culture like Miami, he'll be all right. And of course, they really got to steal with Jaime Jaquez, and they still got Tyler Hero and Bam and all of that. I think they'll be all right. You know, and Wiggins is still, you know, not acclimated, and he's been hurt. They need to get all that straight and come back next year. But normally they'd be playing their best ball right now. But Butler ruined it for him. He just ruined it for him. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all was talking about getting Miles Bridges, and y'all don't know what you're doing, man. You don't bring that in your locker room. Even if he's changed, you don't bring the hint of that in your locker room at all. Kevin Porter Jr., no. I will tell you this, though. If Precious was to leave, y'all know I love Beef Stew, but Beef Stew kind of locked up with Detroit, and they smart enough to keep that brother, so I don't see him going anywhere. But I'm going to tell you about another roughneck that might be available. As a matter of fact, he's going to be a free agent, and they haven't extended him yet, and he would fit in nicely. I don't know if he'd want to come to New York because he's a country boy. I'm talking about Jay Will over there in OKC. See, he's on his last year of his rookie deal, 4-year, $8 million. They ain't extend him. I know it. I understand they had to spend a lot of money on Hartenstein. They got SGA. They got J-Dub on big contracts. They got to keep Holmgren because he's the next one coming up. So they may not be able to afford J Will. But at 6'9", 245, he's a legit Beef Stew, Precious style roughneck. That's somebody to keep an eye on in the summer. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping we really re-sign Precious. Precious is New York, born and bred, you know. So let's see. Let's hope he comes back. Okay. But we'll see how that works out. In the meantime, yeah, we're starting to get it together. So now we got to go from MSG. They got to fly down to San Antonio, man. That trip right there is tiring. Just the trip is tiring. I just come back from a trip from Dublin, Ireland. And I caught a cold because of the art, you know, the trip. No joke, okay? And the Knicks got to fly from New York down into the Alamo. So, you know, they might be a little sluggish come Wednesday night. You know, they probably got to, I don't know, they might get their breather today and fly out tonight, you know, and then try to get ready. And then it's a back-to-back. They got to fly back to the East Coast to Charlotte for Thursday. I know these are not the two best teams in the world right now, but this is the league, and that is a grind. And then they got Washington on Saturday night. So this is going to be a grind week. I still think they can finish these 3 games 2-1 because we that good. I think they can finish these 3 games 2-1. I give them 2-1 for the week. So that would be a good week. Okay. Right now they got 67 games down, 15 to go. I'm thinking they can go 10-5, 53 win season. Hey, 3rd in the East, ain't nothing wrong with that. There's some people gonna complain about that, be stupid, but that's a really good season. I wanted 2nd in the East and 55, but hey, I'll take 53 and 20 and what did it be? 53 and 29. I'll take that. You know, we can go over there. We can do that. And then 3rd seed. That means you play the 6th seed. It could be either Milwaukee, Pacers, or Detroit. I have no preference. It don't matter which one of them we play. Whoever it is, we gotta beat them. So it don't matter which one of them we play. And then, you know, we gotta get through that first round, and then probably meet Boston in the 2nd round. And it's just gonna be on. You know, it's gonna be a dogfight. You think you gonna mess with Jalen Brunson and get away with it? We're gonna see what happens. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. Enjoy this win. Rough week ahead, but they're gonna be all right. Shalom.